What's up, family? Welcome back to Gifted to Glory podcast. It has been a minute. I know. I'm sorry, but we back. Listen, I've been going through this transition season of kind of fleecing, dealing with my own belief systems and limiting belief language and inadequacies and things of that nature. Where I've just decided I'm just going to revamp the whole thing. I'm going to, for those who don't know, Gifted to Glory is an evolution of the Dreamers Huddle, which was primarily a coaching podcast platform. And I've been in the season of fleecing. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Been seeing other people do certain things. It's like, ooh, that sounds good. Been trying to mix entertainment because I love entertainment and movies and writing. Been trying to mix that in. And I'm in the season of like figuring out who I really am in this space, in this podcast space, and in the coaching space, and as a spiritual leader. I just landed on this thing where God is like, do what you do best. Stop trying to do what you see everybody else doing. That's not you. I haven't called you to that. What do I do best? I do personal growth. I do personal development. I do Christianity. I do biblical and theology studies. That's just what I do best. So this may change, how many people that tend to peek in and view this platform. But you know what? I've become comfortable with, I guess, who I am in this season, and I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to obey God and go with it. So yes, initially I said Gifted to Glory was not particularly a Christian platform. I'm changing that. It's just who I am, and at my core, I'm a believer. I'm full of the Spirit, and I have to do it the way God gave it to me doing it. I have to do it from a Christian perspective, a faith-based perspective. Now, does it mean all the content will be heavily biblical and spiritual? No, absolutely not. This is not Bible study. This is not church or anything like that. But most of it, if I may say, not all will have some faith-based underpinning to it, because it's just who I am at my core. All right. And I'm a church boy, y'all. Like I got a little bit of hood in me, but it doesn't, it doesn't overtake who God has called me to and what God has called me to. So listen, for the lack of a better term, this new identity for Gifted to Glory is simply a personal growth and development, a Christian personal growth and development platform. A Christian personal growth and development platform. Gifted to Glory, the brand, if you follow us on Instagram, is a personal growth and development platform. All right. A Christian personal. It's not even like, I won't even say faith-based. It's a Christian. Let me be clear. It is a Christian, a biblically-centric personal growth and development space. All right. So, I'm kind of conflating my psychology with my my religious and biblical studies, because I got degrees in both. So I'm just going to, and I'm going to just speak to people. I'm going to speak to teenagers. Sometimes I'm going to speak to adults, young adults. I'm going to speak to hyper spiritual Christians. I'm going to speak to those who are new to the faith. I'm going to speak to those who kind of fall right in the middle. Like, listen, I like a little bit of weed and I like a little bit of Christ. Help me out, so I'm gonna speak to everybody, but I have to be who I am at my core. And I think I cannot do a personal development and personal growth platform and podcast without first admitting that myself, without first putting it out there. Because you guys, for those who've been with me from the beginning, you kind of know, you kind of been like, oh, listen, Lou, what are you doing with this platform? Right? Is it coaching? Is it Christiocentric? Is it about entertainment? Is it, listen, here, I'm concretizing it for you right now. It is a Christian personal growth and development podcast. And you know what? Gifted to Glory is a Christian personal growth and development brand and space for those who want to grow and develop spiritually from a biblical centric perspective. All right. Now, here's a few changes that will be taking place. We're going to sometimes it's going to be heavy. We're going to deal with some heavier concepts and heavier things where that could be triggering, right? And then sometimes it is going to be more of a more subtle or more practical, and that we just talk. I take a particular pop culture um, incident or a pop culture event, and I speak to it from a personal growth and development vantage point, right? Where, if something happens in our culture, I may use that as a topic to speak to a much bigger and much wider, a much deeper um, uh, um, point or principle that is important to the personal growth space, right? It's what my coach and mentor calls the be, do, have framework, right? In the Bible, when God gives the command to Adam and Eve, be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion over the earth, right? So we have to be in order to do. We have to do in order to have. But so many times people are trying to have without the doing, and they're trying to do without the being. And that's kind of the season that I was in. I was trying to have something without being first. I was trying to be something without doing certain things. So we're going to work through all that through this podcast. And listen, I want to invite random people on. Yes, I want to have special guests and different people who actually operate in certain spaces. And my prayer is that if you're seeing this, if you know anybody who's a master or who's a expert in certain areas of personal growth and development, please tell them, hey, you need to get on this podcast and have a conversation and break bread with us, from a mental and information perspective. Listen, I'm excited because I finally feel like I'm in this place where I can be vulnerable and I can be myself. I can, and I'm speaking. I'm not trying to reach and pull. And it's not a struggle to pull for content because I'm doing what I love. I'm doing what I'm good at, and that's personal growth and development. I wrote a whole book called Home Again, which you can find on Amazon and Barnes and Noble online. Home Again by Lewis Collins. This idea of reclaiming yourself. All right. Practical principles for reclaiming yourself after years of fighting against yourself. And I wrote a whole book on it. It's like God was telling me, like, look here. Like, I'm giving you your blueprint. I'm giving you the best way to help people, but you're trying to do your own thing. Personal growth and development. First thing, from a Christian perspective, okay, when God gives you an assignment, all right, you can't change the method and the way he wants to disseminate your assignment to the people. God has given me an assignment as a spiritual leader. He's also given me an assignment as a spiritual coach. Well, I can't change the method of how I disseminate that to the people. He says, do it through the personal growth space. Do it through personal growth information, through personal growth content. And so I have to do that. I have to do that because that's what he's called me to, right? And I mean, personal growth and personal development is so broad, right? So there's so much content we can get into, but I know the specific areas that I can speak to, which I will get into that in a later episode. But for the most part, I know that I can. I know that in the larger sphere of things, I can speak to most areas of personal growth and development. And I'm still trying to walk through via prayer and fasting and scripture reading, just how that looks from this place that I am right now. But I'm going to tell you, there's going to be some episodes you get the most vulnerable of me. I don't know. I may cry. I don't know. I've been through. I've been through a lot where I can speak to this. I've had suicidal moments. I don't want to be triggering here, but I've had suicidal moments. I've had times where I felt that I was at my lowest point. I had times where I went to sleep at night and wasn't sure that I would be happy if I even woke up. I've had those moments in my life where I felt the weight of it, felt like the world and my family on my shoulders, and not being able to deliver, and what that does to my mind and my mental space. So I've been there, but I've also worked my way out of it. I've worked my way to a place of, as Paul says, being whatever state I'm in, to be content, and to think on those things that are lovely, think on those things that are pure, that are wonderful, that are good, right? So that's how I believe I'm going to best serve those who peek into this platform. I will say I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I plan on bringing people on who have some of the answers I don't have, but I don't have all the answers. And I've reached out to a few people that I believe can add value to this particular platform, and we'll see what happens. But at the core of this content, you're going to get my best. I will say that. You're going to get my best, and all I can promise you is that I'm going to do whatever I can to assist in helping you. So, with that being said, I want to invite anybody to come on. Anybody who has a story, who has a testimony, who has something they can add value to, or who say, you know what, Lou, I want you to help me on camera. I want you to help me decipher, help me walk through some of this personal development season that I'm in, this personal growth season that I'm in, whether it be spiritual growth, whether it be personal growth, whether it be relational growth, whatever it is. I need you to help walk me through this. And I believe that in doing that, we're going to help other people. So if you want to be a guest on Gifted to Glory, and now the foundation of the meaning of Gifted to Glory doesn't change, because I believe part of when you understand your personal growth, and when you start to move into a healthy place in your personal development, your gifts do come forth. Your gifts do reveal themselves to you, and you're able to operate and optimize those gifts to give glory to God, and to bring glory, however that looks to you, whether that be monetary or impact, and bring glory to you in the same way. So that's why I'm not changing the name of the platform or the brand, because I still believe that it has personal development, is a tunnel, is a landing strip to you getting and going into and understanding your gifts and talents. All right. So with that said, if you want to be a part, if you want to be a part of this platform, this podcast, listen, you can even drop it down in the comments and say, hey, pick me. But I would prefer you go to our Instagram, follow our Instagram at Gifted to Glory, all right, on our Instagram page, and then DM us, say, hey, I want to come on, let's talk, let's rap, let's conversate. Or, say, hey, I want you to help me on camera, because I think that you helping me can add value to somebody else's life. And so I'm excited about what's getting ready to happen. Now, the look is going to change a little bit too, y'all. Eventually, I got some ideas what I want to do with my studio and things of that nature. I want to make it more of a kind of homely look, where you kind of feel like you're coming to a space where it's safe. I will say this: Gifted to Glory, on all of our platforms, whether it be our conferences, whether it be our podcast show, whether it be anything that we disseminate to you, journals, books, whatever, it will be a place of safety. It will be a safe place. So if you're coming on to be vulnerable, I'm going to be vulnerable with you, and there will be no judgment. All right. And that's why I say be nice in the comments, y'all. Be nice in the comments. This platform is going to grow. You'll probably hear me say it every time we have somebody on. Be nice. Please be nice. Be nice in the comments, y'all. We're still gonna have if you like some of the old content, I'm not removing that. Some people like to go back and watch. They saw something that helped them. I'm not gonna remove any of that, but just know that we're kind of shifting. We're shifting, you guys, to a different different content. Rather, I'm just leaving it at that. There's so much, so we're just shifting to different content in a different place as it pertains to what our niche is going to be with this particular platform. So listen, I cannot wait to get into some of this stuff, man. I've been writing. I've been listening. I've been on audiobooks like crazy. Listen, if anybody has contact with Nona Jones, please, I want to get her on this show. I mean, her Killing Comparison book has drastically changed my life. And now, hopefully, we can work out some things because we still building. But listen, if she's willing to come on, even just give us 10 minutes of that incredible mind, man, I want to try to get her on this platform. And then just so many others. My coach and mentor, Pastor Darius Daniels of Change Church. I mean, hopefully God can grace us to get him on to speak to us about the personal development space, and just a bunch of my friends that I know personally, Chelsea Green, my good friend Sky from Skyscraper Visions. Oh my God, there's just so many. And then even every now and dabbling into the gifts and different things like that, and talent rather, bringing on my friend CJ Lucky, who's a national recording artist who can speak to personal development because he speaks to the growth mindset of young kids. So listen, it's just a lot. I'm excited. We got some guests coming. And I'm excited about one particular guest, Chelsea Renee, who is just, man, y'all, she's dealt with some spiritual stuff, and we're going to get into the witchcraft. And when it comes to, y'all, push subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, you better push subscribe because we got some stuff coming. We got some heat coming, y'all. All right. But listen, I love you, and I'm praying blessings and favor over your life. You know what to do. Subscribe to this channel, share it, like it, do what you do. Until next time, gifted to glory. Here we go.